Let's enjoy this ride together. As always, we promise to give you breakfast. Yes, when I say breakfast, I mean literally information, the best way we can give you on a beautiful Friday like today. All right, let's quickly, we're going to take our first break. Well, yes, it's our first break. And when we return, we will be going straight to what the papers are saying. But then don't forget, you can join this conversation live on YouTube wherever you are, anywhere in the world. And on YouTube, we are at Voice of the People TV. And on all other social media platforms, we are at VOP TV Live. All right, let's get to it almost immediately. We'll take this quick break. When we return, we'll be looking at what the headlines, the newspaper headlines, are saying this morning. Stay with us.
From the views on the street
We go to bed empty hunger.
to the blaring horns of a hustling city, the loudest voices of the common man got a medium to be heard.
This particular administration, they were coming unprepared.
It's not a bad thing to renovate the president's lawn.
Through top-notch programming, unbiased reportage of news, sports, business, entertainment, and cultural documentaries, Voice of the People 90.3 FM became a symbol for 21st century media. And now, a new baby is born. Voice of the People Television, VOP TV, youthful, full of vigor and penchant for excellence in the continent's media space, exposing the wrongs, applauding the rights, dissecting the news without fear or favor, through factual and accurate stories and contents,
Corruption kills three things and makes a society.
representing the interests of the people and giving them a voice. Voice of the People TV is here to stay towards building a fair society. VOP TV, Voice of the People Television, truly a voice for the people. When your morning starts, make sure to look around for the right company to serve you everything you need to know about what's happening around you. That's why you need VOP this morning, because we will climb this far to give you a voice in what's going on, from news, reviews, politics and the economy, sports, and even entertainment. Join us weekdays, 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. right here on VOP TV. VOP TV. Now you have more than a voice.
All right, welcome back. It is still VOP this morning, right here on VOP TV. Well, we said earlier before we went for that break that we would be looking at what the front pages of the national dailies are saying this beautiful morning. And yes, that is what we are going to be doing at about now. But of course, joining us in the studio is Barrister Darlington Agumo, a lawyer and a political analyst. A very good morning to you, Barrister.
David, how are you and how was your holidays?
We did not have holiday.
You didn't have holidays. Nobody brought salary to your house.
We are still waiting.
Maybe Alhaji Mukhtar will send our own this morning. I'm Fina, how are you? It's all right.
All right, let's get to it almost immediately. We'll be looking at the headlines this morning. But of course, first off, would urge you, like we said earlier, do join us on YouTube. Let's talk about this together. Well, you know, on YouTube, we are at Voice of the People TV. And on all other social media platforms, we are at VOP TV Live. All right, let's start with the Guardian newspaper, where the banner headline here reads, Fresh concerns as youth gets high on feces, nutmeg, illicit substances. Interesting one there. There's also a major pictorial of the seizure of assorted illicit drugs in the ton of 1,606,799.09 kilogram of seizure of illicit drugs thus far. Now in 2023, 15 drug kingpins bagged 106 years of imprisonment collectively. Also, there's an arrest of about 13,664 persons. Offenders charged to courts, 5,570. Convictions, 3,412. Well, these are the analysis of, the pictorial you find there at the front page of the Guardian newspaper. Now, beneath that pictorial, you see other headlines that reads, Nigeria records $3.2 billion loss in Q1 as oil production hits record low. Nigeria records $3.2 billion loss in Q1 as oil production hits a record low. Afenifere urges Southwest governors to get FG's grants for farmers. Afenifere urges Southwest governors to get FG's grants for farmers. Lagos Calabar to be completed in 8 years at 4 billion naira per kilometer. Interesting headline here. Minister apologizes for jive on electricity consumption culture. Cheap tariffs. Well, you know who that minister is. If you don't know, he's the Minister of Power, Mr. Adelabu. He apologizes for jive on electricity consumption culture, cheap tariffs. Inquiry on Okwama killings. Journalists barred as stakeholders worry over fairness. Top 4 banks earn 8 trillion naira in 12 months, records 3.5 trillion naira FX gain. And then what seemed to be the last headline on the front page of the Guardian newspaper, I beg your pardon, yes, the Guardian newspaper, is Christian elders link insecurity to foreign invasion. Interesting headlines here, we must say. Barrister, well, of all of these headlines, which would you want to react to?
Yeah, first of all, good morning, viewers and listeners. Thank God it's Friday.
Yeah.
I like what the Christian community are saying, because ab initio, if these foreign invaders did not enter Nigeria, we will not be where we are today. That is why they are so heartless, because I've always wondered, the Nigerians that I know, we are not this wicked to ourselves. We are not this wicked to ourselves, but because these people are not Nigerians, that's why they have the audacity to do what they are doing without even caring. How do you slaughter pregnant women, children? Some even drink their blood and all that. So it's so unthinkable. These people are not Nigerians, and even the government have said it. Buhari said it during his time that these people are not from Nigeria. Then what are you doing as a government? How do you allow foreigners to come into your country, kill your people, take over their farmland, take over their village, take over their homes? And you are the federal government and you are there. And you still want the same people to be patriotic, to pray for you as their leader. But it's not possible. It's not possible. But most people are disenchanted, especially these people from Benue and the Plateau, where this thing is hottest.
Yeah.
The government is not doing enough at all. It's not doing enough. I don't know what covenant they have with foreigners that they should allow them to come in here. They are not even afraid. They kill and take over. You know, sitting in people's homes, taking over their villages. And the federal government just keep quiet. The Christians, yeah, they are very, very correct. Then, secondly, any country that does not look after their youth is heading for destruction. You see this idea of our youth getting high on all manner of things. If the federal government does not arrest it, our future is in jeopardy. Because these are the so-called leaders of tomorrow. If tomorrow comes and there is nothing for them, what do you think will happen?
How do you think they can arrest this situation, Barrister?
My dear, it's very simple. Create jobs. The farming states in the north are now deserted. They are deserted because of this insecurity. Create jobs. That is the first thing I think any youth need now. If they are gainfully employed, they won't have time for all these things now. An idle brain is the devil's workshop. So government is aware of all this. Then what are they doing?
But Barrister, don't you also think that this is not just about creating jobs? Because these guys have a little bit of money to go and get these things that they are high on.
Having money to get, do you mean money to buy feces? Didn't you?
No,
Feces and nutmegs and other illicit drugs?
Yes.
Even other things they get, how did they get the money? Through criminality. Most of them indulge in all manner of criminal activity to get that money. I am talking of gainfully employ them, because I know that most northern youths, they go to farm because they have the land, they have the advantage of land mass.
Right.
But they have been chased out of the farm. And if they look right, they don't have anything to do. They will even join these terrorists in order to make money. That is the truth. So if the government know all these things, what are they doing about it? That's my question. Because this thing is taking way too long. It is even psychologically, our youth have been conditioned to believe that if you go into criminality, you will make money. And it's very dangerous, very, very dangerous. You see kidnappers displaying the money they collected before the camera. Displaying the money they have collected. And these are young people. What do you think the other people who are not kidnappers, what do you think they'll be doing? They will say, so I can make this kind of money. Before you know it, they'll form their own group and start terrorizing their locality.
Well, that's a major psychological move there, because if I should see my mates throwing up money and of course,
And you know what they are doing? And decide to join them.
And nobody's even arresting them or disturbing them. You now feel okay, like during the Eid yesterday, you saw them celebrating somewhere in Zafara. Celebrating openly. These are people that should be hiding because of what they have done to this country. They are not bothered.
all right, let's look at another paper almost immediately.
Okay, we have a Vanguard newspaper before us this morning, and I'll start with the banner headline that reads, "Uproar over cost as FG proposes a 3,000 naira per toll gate." 3,000 naira per toll gate. Okay, the riders reads, cars to pay 1,500, trucks 5,000. That is according to Umahi. Says landmark resort, jobs won't be affected. Property owners to be compensated. Another rider reads, it is a highway to fraud and waste. And that's coming from Atiku, the presidential candidate of PDP in the just concluded election. FG not tired of inflicting pains on Nigeria. This is coming from Labour Party. Any toll gate above 300 naira unacceptable. That is from CUPP. Luxury bus operators a kick and says passengers will bear the brunt. A road may become highway of exploitation and fraud. And that is coming from NLC. Costs must be recovered. Unwilling motorists should ply alternative routes. And this is coming from APC Scribe. Right above the nameplate, we have the window stories. Zenith Bank grows gross earning by 125% to 2.13 trillion naira. You can get that on page 19 of the Vanguard newspaper. Tinubu, Jibrin, Kalu, Uzodima, Obi, others mourn as Obunnaya Onu dies at 72. You can get that on page 7 of the Vanguard newspaper. Orderly declares Fubara leader of PDP in Rivers State. Nice one. We have a Junior Pope, how Fanta money I sprayed in the river saved me. And that is coming from a survivor. And we have a pictorial where the writer reads, a tragedy strikes in Nollywood. And that pictorial shows the late Junior Pope, who is an actor, and also Tochukwu Kafo, who also happened to be a Nigerian actor, but a survivor on that boat wreck. And we have Adam Luke, who happened to be the producer of the movie that, you know, the people that died went to work on the shoot. All right, and below that, we have Sowolu at Dosumu Market, the fire site. We also learned about the fire inferno that happened in Dosumu Market, where 14 buildings were affected and 4 have already collapsed. And beside that story, Okwama Army invades another Delta community, arrest 10, raises home. All right, and we have another headline that reads, Christian elders to Tinubu adopt 2014 confab report. Christian elders to Tinubu adopt 2014 confab report. You can get it on page 10 of the Vanguard newspaper. Manufactured goods import rise to 269% to 9 trillion naira, export decline. And away from that, right below the pictorial of the governor of Lagos State visiting the Dosumun Market, we have another headline that reads, Nwigwe, while Ogubanjo's family sued chartered company over helicopter crash. You can get that on page 12. Minister apologizes for saying Nigerians keep freezers on due to low tariff. And that's on page 22 of the Vanguard newspaper. And there we have an editorial by Owei Lakamfa. You can get it on page 17 of the Vanguard newspaper. And last but not the least is about Oseni, that's on sport. He's also, they say, he's closing to accepting PSG 17 billion naira per season offer. Oseni is close to accepting Paris Saint-Germain a 17 billion naira season offer. And that is all we have on the headlines for Vanguard newspaper this morning. Barrister, I was with us in the studio, Barrister Darlington Agomo. While I was going through the headlines, you know, you were nodding, and I know you have one of the stories here that you want to react to.
Yeah, the one that interests me most is this Lagos Calabar Coastal Road.
All right.
I can smell fraud on that project.
Why do you say so?
In the first place, the questions Atiku asked them over that project, nobody have answered him. Nobody.
Umahi answered him yesterday.
No,
he
the
pointed
answer,
out how many million they've been using for that.
No, the answer he gave is not enough. How much is the total cost of that project? Why was it not bidded? Why was it given to Gilbert Chagori and the High Tech, whom you and I know the person that owns them or the person that has interest on those companies? Why should it start from Eco Atlantic and end up Lekki Deep Seaport? Why should a 42 kilometer of road cost at least 1.206 trillion naira? We are looking at 4 billion per kilo. I mean, for kilometer.
Yes.
Which are you? Look, my dear, this is one of the reasons why I get annoyed over these things. This money they want to waste there now, you and I will pay for it. Yes.
The luxurious buses have asked, the operators have said that passengers are the ones that will bear the brunt.
That's what I'm telling you. That's not what I told you here. You and I will pay for it. That is it. You and I will pay for it. And I don't know why we should keep quiet when this type of thing is going on.
Looking at the tag that they even put on the motorists that will be plying the route, they say for trucks they have to pay 5,000 naira, and for cars they have to pay 1,500.
Can you imagine? It reminds me of the same this Kano Maradi Red project, which is the costliest in the whole world, according to Akinwumi Adesina. The man who kicked against that Red project, yes, they went ahead. Exactly what happened with that project, without any bidding, without any plan, nothing. They just went ahead. That means somebody have collected money without appropriation. And And the National Assembly are there. They are not talking. It is after the damage has been done, they will not start probing. Eh?
Isn't this like a rubber stamp from the National Assembly?
I'm telling you, they should have asked them, why did you start? Who gave you the money? Because it is on record that such an amount has been released. And Umahi is defending. What is he defending? I expected Umahi to tell us how much you cannot start a project without knowing the cost. Let's assume you don't know. Let us know first before the variations will come. How much will this project cost? Let us know. If 1.2 trillion is being spent just for that is 6% of the project, then calculate the remaining 94%. You now know how much it will cost. Is that not fraud? Please, is that not fraud on its own? For you to even give it to a company that you have interest in, willy-nilly, is that not fraud on its own? And these are the same people who went to Saudi Arabia and told them, come to Nigeria, come, forget about the corruption. If you come, if anybody asks you for bribe, report to me, I will deal with that person. Eh? And you are the one doing all these things on your own. How do you do all this for God's sake? How?
Now that a particular political party scribe were of the opinion that we have so many other alternative routes to use, for the motorists, APC scribe were of the opinion that if you cannot pay this fare, use another route. What do you have to say about that? Because
that was what they told you in Lekki. You remember Lekki toll gate? You remember what happened with that project? In the first place, this project they are talking about, this Lagos Calabar Coastal Road, is supposed to be a PPP project.
Right.
But now the government is paying. Why is it Nigerians are not asking questions? This is your money, for God's sake. Why would you do on your own? You remove such an amount of money. Have you seen that every president of this country, they are part of the CBN and the finance ministry? Have you seen it now? When I'm talking, I have my facts. That was what Buhari did with Emefiele. You supposed to be collecting money on your own from either CBN or finance ministry. Are they not the one that released this money? And Kadose is there tomorrow. You come and preaching financial.
What's the legal implication of this whole project? Because, like you just rightly mentioned, this is 6%.
Somebody should go to court. Somebody should go to court and shut it down. That's not our priority now, for God's sake. That's not our priority. Why are they in a hurry to start collecting toll, just like they did at Lekki toll gate? Which is supposed to be. Akinwuwe Ambode told us. Ambode told us that that project had been paid fully by the state, Lagos State government. But somebody is collecting toll on it now. Somebody is collecting toll on it. That's why they got interested when our youth were protesting there. That they are losing money. Is it your money? Is the state government money now? But somebody owns it as I talk to you now. It's the same thing they want to do with this Lagos Calabar Coastal Road. Why are you in a hurry? Everything was done whooshy. As if it is your personal matter. What is the hurry? What is the hurry all about? Somebody should come and explain to us. You mean if that project is not carried out, Nigeria will not exist, or Lagos will not? I don't understand. There is no, even if you want to do it, why can't you follow due process? Is that not what we are saying here?
Pastor, you mentioned that somebody should go to court.
Yes, and shut it down, yes.
If, for instance, because there are several court injunctions that have gone through the courts, and none of it is being followed by the government.
Let it be on record that such a thing was done. So that when you go abroad and be talking of rule of law, whatever, good business environment, somebody will remind you that you are not good in obeying court order. Why should we come and invest in your country? Yes, now let it be on record. Because any investor that is coming, he will ask questions from their embassy here. He will ask them questions from his Nigerian partners. So let it be on record. Continue to disobey court order. And then you are going abroad to invite people. They'll be looking at you. They will just turn off their nose after listening to you. All the ones that have been going, how many people did the Buhari brought into this country as investors? This other person now, the same thing he's doing all over the place. How many have come? These are part of the reasons. These are just part of the reasons, but they don't know. When they shoot themselves at the right foot, they will start looking for somebody to blame. Somebody sabotaging the government. Somebody want to bring that. But you are the one bringing down yourself. You can never do this type of thing in the United States where we copy this democracy. It can never happen.
Now, Barrister, this particular money earmarked for this project have been already paid for. Can we question the leadership of Cardoso presently with this kind of move?
That is it. That is the same man that told you that he had done this, he had done that. That is it. That's what I'm talking about. They don't appoint people who will be independent-minded, who will say no, that this is not financial regulations. They appoint people who will obey what they are saying, what they want them to do. Cardoso, look, there is a proverb in my place. They ask the wise one, how many times will something happen to you before you will learn? The wise one said, no, he will not wait for anything to happen to him. He will use what happened to others to learn a lesson. Cardoso, look at what Emefiele is going through now. Look at what Emefiele is going through. So if they are telling you, bring money, bring money, bring money, bring money, don't forget that office is not forever. Don't forget.
All right, then. Let's also just look at another major headline here for me, and I want Barrister to react to it. The one that speaks to the fact that Christian elders are speaking to President Tinubu, asking him to adopt the 2014 confab report. Does this look like something that any government will want to look at?
Why not? Why not? After all, APC, they campaign on restructuring. They campaign on it. If they have allowed Goodluck Jonathan to go for second term, he would have implemented that confab report. That was one of the reasons why they chased him out of office. Nigerians are not aware of this thing. That was the major reason. You see this same-sex whatever. Yeah. That confab report. The major reason why they not kicked against it and said Jonathan must go. We are thinking that with all their amount and all their campaign, they will implement those restructuring. Up to today, Buhari he did not even touch it. Buhari did not even touch that confab. And this is something the government spent about how much? 48 billion or so. Every part of this country was involved in that confab. Yet at the end of the day, look at it. The thing is gathering dust somewhere in Aso Rock. He will not touch it, though. Is it not? They will not touch it. Because of somebody's selfish interest, the whole of us will now drown into the sea.
But he has already started looking into Oseni report, which actually has been there for so many years. Now, this present administration decided to pick it up to say we have to get a committee to review this and also start implementation.
When I knew that they would not go far with that Oseni report, is when they started setting up a committee.
Okay,
all these things have been done long ago. If you want to implement it, my dear, go ahead. You don't need any committee. That was why some people got together and said, no, you will not transfer some departments from Abuja to Lagos. So. No, you will not do this. So. No, you will not do that. So. When you have people with this kind of mindset, how can you move forward, for God's sake? Because of your selfish interest, you are not thinking of the growth of Nigeria. You are not thinking of the growth of the nation. It's all about yourself. How can we move forward?
Okay. Well, it's quite unfortunate at this point, but then we'll keep our eyes on all of this because Nigeria should.
So if they did not allow him to to transfer some department from Abuja to Lagos, the other aspect of the Oseni report, can he implement it? Can he can't go further.
Well, big question there, Barrister.
He can't go further.
Let's just get into our major talking point. Fina, you want to help us do that?
All right. They actually happen to have the statement that says by the first quarter of 2025, Naira's strength will actually be boosted. And that actually is coming from Ngilale, saying that the President Bola Tinubu's strategy will help boost Naira in 2025. We'll look into this after this quick break. Don't go anywhere. Stay with us.